Look, the rest of the footballing world has been lucky the past few seasons, the way that Barcelona has been. Bartomeu has done a lot of bad things for them, and now that he's out, Barcelona might finally be getting back to the Barcelona that we all know. It's been a huge week in Catalonia, and I'm here to talk about it on Pitchside with Parker. What's up, y'all? Welcome back, Pitchside with Parker, to another daily video. Today we are talking about Barcelona, but before we get into that, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. I do post videos every single day on all kinds of different soccer news. I do game reviews, sometimes player features, all kinds of stuff, but I'm sure if you click around my channel, you'll find something that you like. And be sure to smash the like button before we even get started with the video, because that's what we do on this channel. Anyway, Joan Laporta has won Barcelona's presidential elections, an unprecedented presidential election, which has happened in the middle of the season due to Bartomeu's resignation, and then it was pushed back because of COVID, but it finally happened this weekend. He won with about 60% of the votes over Victor Font, and everything I read, everything I'm seeing out of Barcelona is that this is a massive victory for the club, and that a lot of the fans are really happy with this. And when you consider that it's been a very good week for Barcelona with the semi-final of the Copa del Rey beating Sevilla, and they will be playing in the final against Athletic Club. They won this weekend against Osasuna, and they got a nice goal from Ilaix Moriba, who's one of their next young up-and-coming talents. And then the draw in the Madrid derby was about as good of a result as they could have hoped for. And now Barcelona are just 3 points behind Atletico Madrid, although Madrid do still have that game in hand. All things considered, a good week for Barcelona. And then this presidential election happening. I mean, I've seen Barcelona fans saying that this is generally the best week that they've had in a long time. So why are they so excited? Well, I think the main reason is that Laporta was around Barcelona. He was the president during their best period. He was there from 2003 to 2010, and he was the one who made the decision to promote Pep Guardiola, who was the B team manager at Barcelona, to the first team, where of course he had all kinds of success with the Blaugrana. And you know, that was also when Messi comes into the team. He was the guy who gave Messi his first big contract, so obviously he has a very good relationship with him. And when you just compare him to the other presidents, especially Bartomeu, he's just kind of better all across the board. He's more well-known and well-liked in the football world in general. Like, he knows a lot of agents, he has a lot of connections across Europe and across everywhere, really. And by all accounts, he's just a better guy. He's just a more likable guy. I mean, Bartomeu was really pretty much like a cartoon villain, and so much so that this past week he literally walked away in handcuffs at the end of an investigation for corruption at Barcelona. So like, it went from as bad as possible to the guy who was literally in charge during the golden years. And so you can understand why the Barcelona fans are so excited. So as joyous of an occasion as this has been for a lot of Barcelona faithful, there is definitely a lot to work to do. I mean, that is to say the least. If you all look back on my channel, you can definitely check out the video I've done before with Vic, who is a huge Barcelona fan. And last year during the Champions League, we talked about kind of how Barcelona got into the situation, which led up to the infamous 8-2 result. And he did a very good job explaining just all the different mistakes that Bartomeu kind of made along the way. But suffice it to say that they have a lot to do to turn around the situation that Barcelona are in. Financially, Barcelona is in massive debt, like in the range of €1 billion. So that is something that obviously will hamstring them, especially in the transfer market. I mean, I'll be honest here, like, I am not the foremost expert on how large club finances work, because I feel like there's been plenty of teams that I've heard were in debt or had a transfer ban or whatever the case may be that still ended up making big transfers. So I don't know. I think if they get the right loan or they escape the right rule, perhaps they could still do something big in the transfer window, or at least sign a few players. But it could be preventing something like a huge signing, like a Haaland or an Mbappe, something that, you know, the fans have been wanting for a while, that big signature marquee signing. Because although Barcelona have spent a lot of money over the past few years, the likes of Coutinho, the likes of Dembele, the likes of Griezmann just haven't really cut it for Barcelona standards. The other big questions that are looming around Barcelona have to do with some of the personnel. And the two most notable figures, of course, being Lionel Messi and Ronald Koeman, the head coach. So there was all the drama last year about Messi potentially leaving, maybe going to Manchester City or PSG, but he did end up staying around the season, and you could say that some of his leverage helped get Bartomeu out. Meanwhile, with Laporta, it's going to be a very different relationship with Messi because he, again, was the one who brought Messi to Barcelona, who brought him through, who gave him his first big contract. They have a good relationship, and a huge part of Laporta's campaign was getting Messi to stay. That is one of his top priorities, and I think that that will be a very important piece for Barcelona to fall. Whichever way it goes, whether they are able to convince him to stay or not, it will determine the next steps for Barca, because if he did decide to leave, it would free up a ton of money given the amount that they pay Messi every single year. But of course, if he stays, that'll kind of make everybody happy, really, and he's one of the best players in the world, if not the best, so obviously that would be great for the team as well. And it was interesting to see that today Messi actually went and voted in the election, which is the first time he's done that since he's been at Barcelona. So a lot of people suggested that that meant he wanted Laporta to win. I would have to assume so, given their relationship, but it was very interesting nonetheless, just how big of a deal this was, to the point where even the players were voting. And then as far as Koeman is concerned, it seems like Laporta's plan is to kind of keep things as they are for the rest of the season and then evaluate in the summer. So Koeman, he's got a lot left to prove, and it'll be interesting, depending on how Barcelona do finish this season, what he will decide to do with Ronald Koeman. A lot of fans have certainly been annoyed with Koeman at times, especially in big games. He's had a propensity for just not making the right changes, not picking the right lineups. But at the same time, he's had to deal with a lot of injuries and a lot of other things that were kind of out of his control. So it's hard to evaluate just yet, and it will depend how Barcelona finish in the various competitions. As I said, they are still second in La Liga. So if Atletico Madrid's form continues to crash, they could potentially make a late charge. And they've been playing pretty well in the league. Now, the Champions League looks like it's probably going to be out of reach for Barcelona, considering the deficit they face to PSG, but certainly crazier things have happened. And actually, one of Laporta's first statements as president once he won is to say, "My first day, we will be going to Paris and we're going to try to turn it around." So, I mean, he seems to believe, and if you're the type of person that believes in these crazy stories that sports tend to provide, it sounds like a sports movie. The old guy in charge comes back to bring the greatness back to Barcelona, and the players are fired up and they put in a crazy performance and they turn the tables on PSG once again. It would be like a fairy tale. But I mean, they shouldn't be getting their hopes up with that. And then, as I said, the Copa del Rey, I don't know if that would be enough to keep Koeman in his job, but they will be playing Athletic Club in the final, and they will have a chance to get some revenge on them from earlier this season. So we will see how that ends up, and who knows, it could be enough to save Koeman his job. We'll see. But all of this considered, as many big questions as there are, and as much difficulty as Barcelona will face financially, the bottom line is this is still a premier club around the world. It is still going to always be a destination that people want to play. They still have one of the best academies in the world, and they have an immense amount of young talent that will be able to take them forward, regardless of the futures of Messi and Griezmann and players like that, Busquets, Piqué, who are kind of reaching the end of their years. I mean, you look at, obviously, Ansu Fati leading that generation of young Barca players. Hopefully he can return to his form after he gets back from injury. But before that, he was genuinely looking like the most world-class player at his age. Then you look at Ilaix Moriba, who has impressed recently, breaking into the first team and making a few appearances. As I said, he scored a great goal at the weekend against Osasuna. You got a guy like Mingueza at the back, Riqui Puig, Trincao, Pedri, the two Americans, Dest and Conrad. I mean, they've got a lot of talented young players all around the field and a lot of great building blocks. So I think you pair one or two smart signings with that, maybe a new coach depending on how things go. And if the energy just becomes better at Barcelona, which is how it seems from all the fans, from the reaction that I've seen today on social media and online, on YouTube, everywhere that you could find Barca fans, they seem to be very happy. So there is a lot of positivity for the club, and it will be very interesting to see how this all works out for them. But for the time being, it sounds like Barcelona are back, and that is a huge story in the world of football. So that's going to be all for this video. Thank you for checking it out. Again, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. It would mean a lot to me. We're pushing to grow on that road to 500 subscribers. So hit that subscribe button and smash the like button on this video. If you didn't already, it really helps the channel and it helps more people be seen. So that is going to be all from me. I will catch y'all in the next video. Peace.